this damn thing recording? Okay, yeah, whatever. Fuck off. Hi, so day 26, Troubled Faith. I was politely asked to come on and talk about my troubled faith. Hi. For those who don't know me, which is for some of you, yes, a lot of you know. My name is Lark. Amongst most of the hunter community, the hunting kind, I am either your favorite, like your most favorite or most hated combat medic. Mostly because, yes, we go into fights. But it's mostly did you fucking listen to me? When I told you to hold this? No? Okay, then you deserved a little bit more pain. Because I know what the fuck I'm doing. So, Troubled Faith. It actually really got worse. It actually really started when I finally saw what's been hiding. So, my friends and I, it was about 4 friends of mine, and at the time, my boyfriend. Him and I are on good terms now, but yeah, we're not together, but we're on good terms. It's fine. For spring break, while we were in school, most of us tagged along, but one of my friends had planned on doing a camping trip on an island off the coast of Florida. I believe it's called St. George's Island. Gorgeous place. Still recommend going there. So we get there. We drove all the way down there. I won't say where I was originally from, but it was quite a drive. So we drove all the way there. Grabbed our tents, our supplies, everything, and we hiked. The primitive camping site from the parking spot, I believe, is almost a 2.5 mile hike. On sand. Now, mind you, that is fucking tiring. Hiking on dirt, fine. Hiking on rocks, fine. Hiking on sand, go fuck yourself. Jesus Christ, y'all are crazy. So we hiked. We made it to the primitive camping site. We set up a camp. The first night was great. We watched the sunset, we swam in the water, I'm honestly sick and tired of hot dogs. From that trip alone, we had hot dogs, we had s'mores, and for, entertainment, we weren't doing, straight up, we were not, despite this sounding like the beginning of a horror movie, we did not do any dumb fucking teenage shit. The worst thing we did was read, a book to each other. One of us brought a book, and we were just taking turns reading chapters. I'm not kidding. We were fucking nerds, and I still love them all for it. So yeah, the first night was fine. The first day was fine. All we did was just chill and hang out. We followed the rules of the campground. We even followed the fire rules, because we did have fires. We had the fire the first night, so we can cook our hot dogs and s'mores. And we had a fire again the second night, but obviously we kept an eye on it. We were doing fine. But the second night, we kind of wrap it up after a long day. So Keith, my boyfriend at the time, and we had our own tent. And the rest of the friends, there were 4 other friends other than Keith and I, they took their own tent. 'Cause, they didn't want to be, whatever. But we all go to bed. And yeah, the next morning most of them did make it. Keith and I woke up to screaming. We were dead asleep. We wake up to our friends. By the way, the rest of them all female. Poor Keith is the only male. And we wake up to our friends screaming bloody murder. We were about ready to get out of the tent and go like, oh god, what the fuck is going on? Like, this wasn't the fun, happy scream. This was straight up like, oh god, something is going wrong. We were about ready to leave the tent when it was huge. It looked like an outstretched, like, huge hand, but it also had, like, more muscles, and it looked extra furry. Like, it was weird. It looked like a paw, almost, like just a 5-fingered fucking paw. Reached, like, it literally crashed through our tent wall, grabbed me by the shoulder, and dug in. Like, I think it was about ready to actually, like, lash, like, kind of, like, grab me and then lash me back out. Luckily enough, I had my survival knife nearby. Like, we've been using it for, like, cutting rope or cutting this or cutting that. Like, literally, like, it's a survival knife, for this fucking reason. I grabbed it, stabbed it in the hand, because it was like, oh, fuck no. And it had, like, because it was actually this shoulder a little bit, had yanked, and that's why I keep it a little covered, because there's a nasty scar. Nasty. And, like, I heard it whimper. Like, it was like, what the fuck? So, at that point, Keith and I are, like, bolting out of the tent. We see, like, we get out of the tent, we see this. It was huge. Like, you hear the stories about fucking what? Like, Bigfoot, skunk ape. It looked bigger than what those stories said. Like, it was just this giant fucking dog-like thing standing in the moonlight, because luckily there was just enough light. I can't remember what phase of the moon it was in, but, like, I shit you not, like, it, like, straight up, it looked like something out of, like, that Universal's Wolfman. I shit you not. At that point, Keith and I booked it. Like, we were, like, because if we looked down, our friends were scattered. And I'm not saying, like, they ran away. No, I shit you not. I saw an arm dismembered. Like, our friends were torn literally to shreds. And that's why we woke up to the sound of their screams. They were literally getting shredded alive. So Keith and I booked it. Somehow we fucking made it. Because this thing literally looked like it could have taken us. We finally got to someone who worked there, like, probably manning the front desk or whatever, and we were able to get help. Like, we were just like, oh, hell no, like, we're not going back alone, like, there's no fucking way, there's only 2 of us against this gigantic fucking thing. So they finally get cops out there, again, somehow, because, again, we're 2 miles fucking in, from the parking lot, by the way. So, yeah, like, literally, we ran 2 fucking miles on sand. Again, I love this place. It was great. Except for this fucking incident. But y'all are fucking nuts for hiking and then, of course, running on fucking sand. Yeah, and the problem was that local law enforcement basically went, oh no, it was just a wild animal attack. What? Bullshit! Yeah, so that's where most of my troubled faith has come from, because why would God allow that to happen? We were just kids. Most of us were 17, 18, possibly 19 years old. We were just goddamn kids. Having a spring break, relaxing in the sun and in the water. We were following the rules. There wasn't even drugs or alcohol. Like, the cops even had, like, I swear, I thought Keith was going to lose it, of how many times we had been asked of, well, did you have drugs? Like, any form of drugs. Did you have pills? Did you have this? Did you have mushrooms? Did you have alcohol? Like, it was literally like, no, we had none of this. We only had fucking hot dogs and s'mores and the fucking book we had that we were reading to each other before we would finally all turn in. Like, are you fucking serious? We were probably the most boring kids on the goddamn planet, and most of us, like out of the 6 of us, 4 of us died to this fucking thing. So luckily enough, at least when I went to some therapy, like a different therapy than from Keith, that's when I found out that it wasn't just an animal attack. It was a fucking werewolf. And everything then makes sense. And even from there, again, I've talked with multiple people who have of multiple different faiths, and I would seriously tell them the same thing of, no, God allowed this to happen. He allowed teenagers to die. We were all good kids. And He allowed them to die in such a horrific manner. God doesn't exist. He can go fuck himself if He does.